So the plant or machinery which is required to produce electricity, that is the prime mover and the electric generator, is collectively named as power plant. And also the building in which the entire machinery along with other auxiliary unit is installed, that is known as power house. So what is thermal and hydropower? What is the difference? So the electric power generated in both cases, that is thermal as well as mechanical, is known as thermal power, and a scheme of generation of thermal power or component of thermal power is known as thermal power scheme. And when the energy of flowing water is used to run the turbine and then the electricity generated is called as hydroelectricity power. This scheme is known as Hydel scheme. So in Hydel scheme, the powerhouse known as Hydel power station or hydroelectric power station. So in Hydel scheme also, a certain quantity of water at a certain potential head is essential made to flow through the turbine, and the head causing flow which run the turbine blade and thus producing electricity from the generator coupled to the turbine. So basically in this topic hydroelectric power, we are concerned with Hydel scheme. So already discussed Hydel scheme, different Hydel scheme, that is low, medium, high. So now classification of hydro plant on the basis of hydraulic characteristic. So that classification is, first is run of river plant, second is storage plant, third is pumped storage, fourth is tidal plant. So these four storage, these four classification of hydro plant on the basis of hydraulic characteristic. On the basis of hydraulic characteristics. So first, run-off river plant. So in run-off river plant are those which utilize the minimum flow in a river having no appreciable pondage on its upstream side, and a weir or a barrage is sometimes constructed across a river simply to raise and maintain the water level at a predetermined level within narrow limit of fluctuation, either slowly for the power plant or some of the other purposes also. So where the power plant may only a perennial river having sufficient dry weather flow, and that is the development of work. So runoff river plants generally have a very limited storage capacity and also to supplement to the normal flow. So small storage capacity that called is pondage also is provided for meeting the hour-to-hour fluctuation of load or stream flow over a day. So occasionally day-to-day fluctuation over a weekly cycle when the available discharge at site is more than the demand during off-peak hour also, the excess water is temporarily stored in the pond on the upstream side of the barrage, which is then utilized during the peak hour. Also, the power station constructed on diversion canal, that is irrigation and power canal, called diversion canal plant, and it also can be placed in small pondage category. So this is the example of runoff river plant. That is some example of Kotla powerhouse, also Nangal Hydel canal. These are the some small. Also Sarda powerhouse or Sarda canal. These are the runoff river plant scheme. Second is the storage plant. So storage plant is essentially having an upstream storage reservoir of sufficient size so as to permit sufficient carry over storage from the monsoon season also to dry summer season, and also to develop a firm flow more than a minimum natural flow. In this scheme, that is a storage plant scheme, dam is constructed across the river. Without dam, this storage plant cannot work. So the powerhouse may be located at the foot of the dam. For example, is a Wakra Nangal Dam, Hirakud Dam. This type of project is the storage plant for the hydroelectric power generation. So the powerhouse may be located as much far from the dam or on downstream side of the dam. So in that case, the powerhouse is located at the end of the tunnel which carry water from the reservoir, and the tunnel are connected to the powerhouse machine by means of pressure penstock, which may be either be in underground portion or also it may be in exposed. So when the powerhouse is located near the dam, generally done in the low head installation, that is also known as concentrated fall hydroelectric development. Concentrated fall hydroelectric development. But when the water is carried to the powerhouse at a considerable distance from the dam through the canal, in that case it is known as divided fall development. Divided fall development. That is for storage plant. Next is the pumped storage. What is pumped storage and which scheme is used in pumped storage plant? So generally a pumped storage plant generates power during peak hour, but during off-peak hour, water is pumped back from the tail water pool to the head water pool for the future purpose use. And the pump are run by some secondary power from the some other plant in the system. So the plant is also preliminary mean for the assisting and existing thermal plant or some other hydel plant. So in this type of power pump storage, generally high head scheme is used. So during peak hour, the water flow from the reservoir to turbine and electricity is generated. And during off-peak hour, the excess power available from some other plant is utilized for pumping water back from the tail pool and tail pool to the head pool. So this is the process of pumped storage. In such a scheme, the same water is utilized again and again and no water is wastage. So this is very useful scheme, pump storage. In pump storage, no water is wasted. So for head varying 15 to 90 meter, that is 15 to 90 meter, reversible pump turbine have been used, and function of this turbine is as turbine as well as a pump. And such reversible turbine can work at relatively high efficiencies and can help in reducing the cost such a plant. And in same cases, the same electrical machine can be used for both as a generator as well as a motor while reversing the poles also. So the provision of such a scheme helps considerably in improving the load factor of the power system. So for the pump storage, generally high heat scheme is used. Next is the tidal plant. So in tidal plant for generation of electric power are the recent and modern advancement, and it is essentially work on principle that there is a rise in sea water during high tide period and a fall during the low tide period. So the water rises and falls twice a day, and each fall cycle occupying about 12 hours and 25 minutes. And the advantage of this rise and fall of water is taken in a tidal plant. In other words, we can say the tidal range, that is the difference between high and low tide level, is utilized to generate power, and this is done by constructing a basin separated from the ocean by a partition wall and installing turbine in opening through this well. And water passes from ocean to the basin during high tide and thus running the turbine and generating electric power. So during low tide duration, the water from the basin run back to ocean, and which can also be utilized to generate electric power. So a special turbine is used for this scheme, this tidal plant, which can be generate power for either direction of flow, and such plant are useful at place where tidal range is high. So generally in India, this type of power plant is not established, but in foreign countries, just for example France and USA, this type of power plant is established and run with effectively. So the tidal range for this place is about 11 meters. Different scheme on the basis of plant is discussed, that is low head scheme, medium head scheme and high head scheme. So low head scheme is head difference less than. That is hydro plant also classified on the basis of operating head on turbine. So that is little more discussed. So first is the low head scheme. Second is the medium head. Third is the high head. So in low head, should be head is less than 15 meter. In medium head, head is 15 to 60 meter, and high head scheme head is greater than 60 meter. So in low head scheme, a weir or barrage is constructed to raise the water level, and the power house is constructed either in continuous with barrage or at some distance downstream of the barrage. So where water is taken to the powerhouse through an intake canal is called power canal or the diversion canal. For medium head, that is 15 to 16 meter height, a medium head scheme is one which uses water head varying 15 to 60 meter, and and also dam is in this. For this scheme, dam is essential. Dam reservoir is essential, and this scheme is having features somewhere between low head scheme and high head scheme both. Third is the high head scheme. So high head scheme is one which uses water head is more than 60 meter, and a dam is sufficient height is therefore required to be constructed as a store water on upstream side and to utilize this water throughout the year. So high head scheme up to height 1800 meter have been developed, and the example of this high head scheme is the Wakranangal Dam, Rihand Dam, Hoover Dam in USA. So this is the high head scheme. Next is the some important term and definition which is related to hydropower. So first is the water power potential. So the amount of power generated when Qmax of water is allowed to fall through a heat difference of H meter is given by energy, water energy equal to EW equal to gamma W into Q into H, where gamma W is the unit weight of water and Q is the energy. So this can be also write down gamma W, value of gamma W 9.81 into Q into H, kilonewton meter per second, that is kilowatt. And electrical energy or power in kilowatt, that is P equal to 9.81 eta Q into H. And this can be also convert into horsepower, that is HP generator is equal to 9.81 Q into H divided by 0.735, and this value is equal to 13.33 NQH. Okay, and generally efficiency is taken 80%, so the efficiency is 80%, so 13.33 into 0.8, so that is approximate 7.84 QH. Second terminology is the normal water level, NWL. So normal water level, the highest elevation of water level that can be maintained in the reservoir without any spillway discharge, either with a gate or non-gate spillway, is known as normal water level. So this definition is clear. Normal water level is the highest elevation of water that can be maintained in the reservoir without any spillway discharge, either with a gate or non-gated spillway. That is the highest elevation without opening gate or non-opening gate. That level is the normal water level. Second is the minimum water level. Minimum water level. So minimum water level, the elevation of water level which produces minimum net heat on the power unit. So that is the 65% of design head edge is known as minimum water level. Third is the weighted average level, that is WAL. This terminology and definition is very useful for numerical purpose and also for objective question. weightage average level, that is WAL. So the level above and below which equal amount of power are developed during an average year, that is approx 50% unit between normal water level and weightage water level, and 50% unit between weightage average level and minimum water level is called weightage average level. Third is the design head. So what is design head? What is design head? So it is the net head under which the turbine reaches peak efficiency at synchronous speed, and generally the design head equal to weighted average level minus minimum water level. So that head which reaches to turbine. Design head is that net head under which turbine reach peak efficiency. Turbine reach at peak efficiency, and it is generally weighted average level minus minimum weighted minimum water level. So the difference of normal water level and minimum is 125% of 125% of minimum of design head. Next is the rated head. What is rated head? So it is the head at which the turbine functioning at full gate opening will produce a power output equal to that specified in the nameplate of plate of the turbine. And this rated head should be equal to design head of the turbine so as to ensure maximum overall efficiency. Similarly, gross head. Gross means total. So what is gross head? So gross head is the difference in water level elevation at a point of diversion of water for the hydel scheme and the point of return of water to the river. This is the known as gross head. Next is the operating head. So operating head is the simultaneously difference between the elevation of water surface in the foreway and tail race, and after making due allowance for approach and exit velocity head. So generally operating head is calculated as TEL, total energy level at foreway entrance, minus TEL at tail exit. At tail exit. This is the operating head. Next head is the net head or effective head. Net head or effective head. So net head and effective head is the net head applied to the turbine and is given by the difference of head at the point of entry and exit of turbine and include the respective velocity and pressure head at both places. This is the net head. Next is the installed capacity of the powerhouse, that is the total capacity in kilowatt or million kilowatt of all the turbine generator unit installed in a powerhouse is called installed capacity. And what is load factor? So load factor is defined as the ratio of average load over a certain period of time to the peak load during the same period. So depending upon the period chosen, we may have different load factors such as daily, monthly or annual load factor. So we can write here LF equal to so if the area under a load curve is plotted, it is represents the energy consumed in kilowatt hour, and the annual load factor may also be defined as the ratio of actual energy consumed during that year to the peak demand assumed to continue for 1 year. So annual load factor we can write here equal to divided by maximum power demand in kW into 365 into 24 is the annual load factor that is calculated annually. So the maximum load determines the capacity of the unit, while the load factor give an idea of the degree of utilization of the capacity. So as for example, if annual load factor is 0.6, so it indicates that machine are producing 60% of yearly rated capacity. If annual load factor is 0.6%, that means machine generate 60% of their yearly rated capacity. That is the maximum production capacity. This is the maximum production capacity. Okay. So next is the demand factor and capacity factor or plant factor. So capacity factor, that is the ratio of, it is defined as the ratio of average output of the plant for a given period of time to the plant capacity. Capacity factor or plant factor. Also demand factor. Demand factor. So if a consumer is provided with a connected load of a certain rating, then that is in kilowatt, so he may or may not be use the whole load at a one time. So as use only a part of it, so the ratio of maximum demand at any particular time to connected load is known as demand factor. That is the maximum load that is used to the total connected load for a particular time is known as demand factor. Similarly, the capacity factor, that is the ratio of average load over a given time of period divided by plant capacity. Total plant capacity means the